All right, what's poppin', Tub Nation? Welcome back to Tub Takes. This is a VGC video podcast where we talk about what's been making waves in the VGC scene today. I'm joined by my co-host, Adi. Almost got it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tub Takes. It's good to have you back, Alex.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back. The U.S. did invade Mexico. We'll be talking about that shortly. But yeah, first off, we also have Jeudy joining us today. Jeudy, thanks for being on. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm taking a break from Pokemon to do some more Pokemon.
That's true.
Cannot
That's true. I've
complain.
been seeing you on the pocket grind.
Yeah.
But that's going well for you. Is it enjoyable? Is it fun right now?
It's extremely ranked. Just got released this month, so I've been grinding it a lot.
Oh, that's what it is.
But
okay.
So lots of early streams for ranked, and then like late night or like the afternoon is reserved for VGC. But yeah.
When are we getting pocket at official tournaments and stuff like that? Imagine.
We have no offense to Go, but full offense to Go. Like we have Go regionals. Like we're gonna get pocket regionals eventually.
Right.
But for now, we got ranked, and that's like it's gonna happen eventually. And we also have VGC, and we still have to talk about Reg G.
We do still have to talk about Reg G. We still have to talk about Reg G. A bit of it today we'll be talking about Reg G, but we'll maybe we can make Adi talk about most of that because I'm sure he's the most passionate about Reg G of all of us, right? Right, Adi? Right?
Let me tell you, I'm really excited. I'm really excited for when Pokemon Champions comes out, and you got Pocket, and so both TCG players and VGC players have a different event they can play in if they don't like the format. That's still the same game. Isn't that going to be exciting?
Yeah, that is funky.
Yeah.
Reg G tier list. Stop asking for a Reg G tier list, please. It hasn't changed. Okay, so first off, I should mention that if you have any questions, of course, feel free to leave them in the chat. We'll be reading stuff there. And if you are here now, but you're not going to be here later, or you'd rather watch this on YouTube, !YT in the chat. There is the YouTube channel where this will be uploaded. So, first and foremost, just a quick little plug here. I know that Oceania is trying to, kind of revamp their scene, get official streams back there, and so they're starting to do some of their own like grassroots streams. So they I think did their first one, was it this morning, Adi? Was that what you're saying? I
think it was either today morning or last night based on the date that they have listed. I'm not sure what time it is in Australia right now.
Right.
It's pretty cool.
There's no way to tell. Unfortunately, there's no way. I'm just kidding. There's no way to guess.
It started almost 24 hours ago. How about that? 23 hours ago, as of live streaming.
Jeudy, I'm sure you've well, actually, Adi, you probably can relate as well because you've probably like done like team tours and stuff with Australians. And whenever I'm like making a coaching session with an Australian, it's like, all right, how about my Tuesday night, your Wednesday morning? Like it's just like all kinds of backwards.
Yeah. I just had a scheduled session, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine Saturday, Sunday," and they're like, "Oh, so like you mean like my Saturday, your Friday?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah."
it's wild. But yeah, anyways, definitely check that out. Tub Takes Pocket stream win. Well, I kind of fell off Pocket. Sorry to say, I'm sure it's like good now. But I just got lazy. I just stopped doing my dailies, and so that's the real.
So what I've been told, and Jeudy, you can confirm this, is it true that it's really hard to catch up if you weren't playing from day one?
So that's like kind of false. Because there is you can they give you a starter deck from the main thingy, and so you're able to build like a pretty strong like tier 2 deck immediately. But also there's trading. So you can trade anything from older sets. So like you can trade like random staples or stuff that you need for a deck. But it might be, I can see it getting harder, but with trading and everything, it's like pretty fine. You can build a strong deck or some of the best decks pretty easily right now.
That's cool that trading is in there now. I forgot that I stopped playing before that. That's a good feature.
Yeah.
No, I was on vacation when it came out, and so I just never got into it because I was like, I'm already behind. It's too late. I'm moving on.
That's real. I mean, I know you play Yu-Gi-Oh, but I think you only play like Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Like card games as your card game.
I've already got one. I've already got Master Duel that forces me to do dailies and pull packs and whatnot. I've already got the brainworms already. So yeah.
But yeah, next thing that we want to mention here at the top is the signups for NAIC. If you're watching this on YouTube, it is today, but yeah, this is tomorrow for Twitch people right now listening. But yeah, this is and that's like the first wave. The first wave is going to be in the evening in the US. So get ready for that one.
In Australia, it was yesterday. If you're watching on YouTube, just
That's true. I mean, there's some Australians trying to get to this one. A lot of them will have like travel awards and have already signed up, maybe, but maybe there's some that are not signed up and want to get their points here. So, anyways, yeah, just make sure to be there because, yeah, exactly. Have your alarms set. Tag all your friends, in advance. And be ready. This one is just being run through Arcanine. I think we did it through like a different site last year.
We did, yeah. I remember there being problems with the site too, right?
Yeah.
And then Arcanine created its own way to do lotteries because I think that happened for EUIC, and so it seems like we'll just do the lottery through there. But what will probably happen is you will probably try to sign up at that moment, and it'll say you're waiting in line and randomly give you a slot or not give you a slot. Hopefully, there is enough space in Wave 2 where everyone who wants to sign up can sign up. But we just don't know what the capacity is going to look like, and regionals and events are just breaking records again this year, right? So I would try to sign up as soon as possible because there's a small chance spots will be open after Wave 2, but don't take the chance, right?
Yeah.
Now, Jeudy, are you going to be on the West Coast during this?
Yeah, I'm currently on the West Coast. So
then what I'm going to say is that you and we got to get in this first wave because I do not want to have to wake up at 7 a.m.
I do not want to 7 a.m.
for wave 2. Like, yeah. So if you're on the West Coast, just don't miss. Just don't miss that first one.
Just don't miss. I was originally pretty stressed out about this one, just because a lot of points are relying on NAIC. Like this is before I knew that I was going to do Portland and Milwaukee. But before that, I was just like, oh, if I don't get into this is the end of my season. And I feel like it's probably other people that feel that way, right?
Yep.
I was going to say, you said originally, I thought Adi was still feeling that way. Me too. It's just like, no, this is stressful. This is scary.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be, I mean, the thing is, from what I can tell from EUIC, it seems like 95% of people who want to get in will get in. It's like pretty rare that you miss, but that is like, you're still playing an icy win miss to get into NAIC, which is not the best thing in the world for your season. Alex, I know we're in all three of us are right on the bubble of a World's Invites right now. And so this is a substantial number of points, even though I think we could max out our BFLs without it. You can get a couple hundred points from this, and it will absolutely skyrocket people. It'll change the race for the CP bar. So it's a really big deal.
And we actually saw a little bit of funny extra news just from some of the players that have already signed up. Like Marco Fierro posted this one, and I actually got it sent from a friend as well, just kind of like letting me know that you cannot use Switch 2 for this one, which is like kind of good that they got ahead of it. I mean, it makes sense. We were like, expecting it. I'm sure that there might be a little bit more of a official announcement at some point. Like they're not just going to expect this to circulate. Although I guess when everybody like signs up, you'll get your own message, when you're actually signed up for the tournament. But it says, while Nintendo Switch 2 is not currently eligible for this competition, further details will be shared regarding future events. So I don't know if that means for Worlds or not. I mean, I'm not really sweating it either way. I'm not going to just take my current Switch and throw it in the trash as soon as I get a Switch 2. But everybody just make sure you're holding on to your current Switch if you want to continue to play in VGC events for the near future, at the very least.
Yeah.
So I remember the Switch 2. First off, we do have pre-order dates for that now. I think it's actually coming up as well. I forget what the day are, but it's the next couple days. But really? Also, I think I had it pulled up somewhere. It is April 24th. Pre-order start April 24th. So be ready for that. And the other thing was Yeah, I think if you get a Switch 2, again, we'll talk about this when it comes out, but if you get a Switch 2, I think you have to transfer your data over, right? If you want to play the same games. And so
Mm-hmm.
you shouldn't do that right away because I'm not sure if you can continue to play on your original Switch or how that works, or your save
Right.
file or whatever, how that works. So
Right. But yeah, I feel like other than that, I don't really have a ton to say. Just nice to see some official confirmation on that. And let's go ahead and start talking about some of the tournaments that took place over this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
What is the wait while sign up checkbox? What is this wait while sign up checkbox?
what?
Huh? I don't know what that even means. Adi, tell me if I'm opening that link.
You can open the link. That's fine.
Okay.
I've never seen this before.
Oh, for the Pokemon Center?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Share your information with Wait While? What is Wait While?
Well, I guess. Yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing online for the Pokemon Center anyway. We'll be waiting a while.
That's true. I gotta say, like, this is definitely like I don't want to like dismiss this because it's definitely some people's cup of tea. It's not mine. Like I've been to so many Pokemon centers over the years playing VGC for so long that I don't need more like stuff. I don't need more Pokemon stuff. Like it's definitely gonna be really cool for the people, especially going to like their first internationals or something like that. That they want to get some cool gear to remember the event by. But I've got like all of that and more in other rooms. I don't need more. So like I might not even go to the Pokemon Center if I'm like I'm doing well enough in the tournament. Even if I'm not doing well enough in the tournament, I might just spend some time going to get good food in New Orleans instead. That's but that's just me. That's just me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think normally the internet's Pokemon centers are not as cool as the world's Pokemon centers. Anyways, it seems like they have a
Yes.
lot of stuff you can all just buy online. So yeah, I don't think the internet's Pokemon centers are all that big a deal even for me either.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, I will be sneaking in. I mean, I'll be getting in early.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then buy nothing like I've done the last few Pokemon centers.
Just kind of window shop. Just look at it
Yeah.
all. Yep.
So much TCG stuff.
I think
Oh, I guess
last year we just kind of walked in on the Sunday because people weren't showing up for the reservation, so there's just plenty of free space. So that's the other tip that I can give you guys. Just Sunday, usually you can just walk in.
No, Worlds is a different story. But yeah, for internets, it's like I don't know. At Worlds, all the stuff just sells out immediately if you're not there for like the exact first wave or the whatever. They say they'll restock, but then it just also gets snatched up immediately. It's a mad
And
dash.
we also got the least like interesting Ogrepon form. I think the fire and water forms look way cooler on all the merchandise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think Corner's
Oh.
cool-ish.
I like
You
the
would think I
color
would have
scheme.
more attachment to the water one since I won Portland with that one, but I don't know. I kind of just like them all the same. They're all cool.
Yeah. Someone like me, I'm sad we didn't get like a teal mask like one. That's like the one you have to buy. That's my favorite one.
Mm-hmm.
But
Teal is cool. Grass not being the boring one. I like. You think grass is cooler than rock, Audi? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I didn't really think there would be four, right? I think out of water, fire, rock, I think the water and fire have
Sure.
a little more character to them. I don't know if I haven't seen the merchandise for the grass one, or maybe I haven't. I've forgotten about it, but I'm pretty indifferent about grass. I think it's the base form.
You know what always I wouldn't say cracks me up, but I think it's like a really funny coincidence is that like the Ogrepons have the same typing as the Gmax Wildfire clones from Sword and Shield. I don't know, like it definitely feels like that's not just a coincidence, but like a game balance thing is that they decided like fire, water, grass, and rock are like a good like quad of types to have. But like it's just like it was just like starter Pokemon in like the fire, water, grass classically, like Charizard,
yeah.
Blastoise, and Venusaur, but then Colossal was just the random extra one, I guess. But like, and then they just kind of
Yeah.
did it again with the Ogrepons. I don't really know why that's like the perfect 4 types, but it is.
Yeah. I don't know the logic, but I never even realized that either. We'll have to pay
It's,
attention next generation.
I think
Well,
it's
it's because
because
we're getting Mega Ogrepon, and the Ivy Cudgels are setting up Gmax all the Gmax moves.
yes, this is what happened. Where we were walking around. What event was
It
it?
was Toronto. I think it was Toronto. We figured this out.
We were walking around Toronto and just suggesting all the like stupidest possible secondary effects for Ivy Cudgel that wasn't just like an extra crit chance, because the extra crit chance is a little annoying, and we were like, what would be more interesting? And so it's like the rock one sets reflect, and the water one sets light screen, and the grass one sets leech seed, and the one of them sets trick room, one of them sets tailwind, one of them sets up the wildfire moves. We were just thinking of all like the most like broken secondary effects of the moves.
Yeah.
Should set up stealth rocks. Actually, no, it should be like rock slide. It should have a chance to flinch, but like on both of them, even though it's single target.
I'm here for it.
But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about some of these tournament results. So this is why we named the. Oh no, I forgot. Do we not have teams yet? So we won't be able to talk a ton about.
do
Okay,
have
there we
teams.
go. Let's go. I just had to refresh it. Did we get them in like the past 20 minutes? I just opened the page.
Maybe.
That would be very nice timing. Regardless, though, this is why the title of the stream is U.S. invades Mexico. Because yeah, Riley and Carson went and took home first and second at the Monterey. Is that how you say it? Monterey.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Monterey regionals. This was a regional, right? Yes,
It was.
a regional. So $6,000 on the line, as well as a, I mean, regardless of a special event or not, the auto qualification for Worlds was there. Now, I don't think Riley had one. I think Riley was probably doing very well in terms of championship points, but now does have a auto qualification. Same for, oh, we do have an Uncut Explorer. Thank you. The same can be said for Carson. Carson, I think, does not have a... No, Carson does have an auto qual, actually. Whoops.
He does.
He has an auto qual, and he's also doing really well championship points-wise. So, I can't
Yeah,
remember,
like-
Adi. The logic is that's really good for us casuals, right? For us, like...
This was the best case scenario where 2 people who were basically guaranteed Worlds invites, Carson literally guaranteed a Worlds invite, both made it to finals, and Riley got an auto invite, stole an auto invite from LATAM. So now that means 1 additional Worlds invite, and then Dylan and Connor, I think Dylan is actually quite safe in the World race, if I recall correctly, but they're both, doing pretty good as well. And I think the other NA player in Top Cut was Vijay, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of Americans in Steven Stewart too. A lot of Americans in Top Cut. So a lot of Americans got points, but the finals was about as good as we could hope for.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. No, I think I
told,
was gonna say.
I told Carson before the tournament, I hope he gets second place. So
that's terrible.
He told me before Atlanta, he hopes I get top 8 and not top 4, because top 4 would bring too much attention to the team. So
I see. Yes. Go ahead, Jody. What were you gonna say though?
Oh, well, I was gonna say what are you guys' thoughts now that the season has settled, the dust has settled on invading Mexico and Puerto Rico, for these points, right? Because I think that now, right, I've seen Vijay, I've seen them now at Puerto Rico right now here. I've seen Riley at all of these, right?
Yeah.
How are you guys feeling? I know usually in the past people held invading as of animosity, but now we're cheering Riley and Carson to do well, because if they take an invite, there's less competition.
I don't actually have a ton of thoughts on it. It's just it's up to the player to do it. You, unfortunately, no matter what, you're gonna have to just do whatever it takes to get a Worlds invite that you find within your means. So if that means spending money to go to every tournament, you can do that. If you're somebody who's a strong player and really confident you can do it in least tournaments possible, you can Wolf Glick it or something. Of course, he's gotten some auto invites along the way, so he doesn't really have to worry about the bar. But yeah, I think that there's nothing wrong with this, especially talking to some of the players that went for this one. This was a cash tour. Like, you know, if you are confident enough in your own skills that you can make the money back from the flight that you're using to get there. It's one thing like when you're just trying to fly across the world just to get championship points for a world's invite. I don't know, that's like a little bit harder to sell me on, but like when you're, you know,
Yeah.
talking about the ability to get $4,000, $6,000 for making
Yeah.
it to finals, it's just like, all right, go get your bag if you know that you can, if you're really confident in your play and your team, you know,
Yeah.
nothing wrong with
No,
that.
100% agree. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel too. It's just like there's so much money on the line here. I think more NA players should be going to these events because you saw how well all the NA players did, right? Like I feel like most people, or a lot of people who are watching this could also go and make this a more competitive event and have pay $500 for a flight and have even odds of making top 16 and winning their money back. Is like honestly like if I was living in Texas and I see a lot of the people who did very well at this tournament live in that area of Texas. Carson lives in Antonio, right? Not in Oklahoma, right? And so I think that there's a lot of cheap flights from that area. You are more than likely to make your money, or on average, you're going to make your money back if you're a player of Carson's quality or Riley's quality. So
Yeah.
why wouldn't you go?
No, I feel that. I think I definitely want to start doing that more going into next season, especially if ICs remain this strong, right? It's just like have the ICs plus like travel down to regionals, like Mexico regionals would be like pretty good vibe, honestly.
Mhm.
It definitely brings
I
the question
have
of like how
been.
many things are gonna stay the same between this season and the next. Like it feels like this is absolutely like, I know every season feels like a trial run for the next season, but like this system is new. I'm very curious like what kinks they've worked out this time around for next season. What were you gonna say, Adi? Though, sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, I was gonna say Jody's also trying to go to Mexico. I was trying to go to this event. If I didn't move away from Texas, I definitely would have gone to this event because the Mexican events are always so much fun. At
Mm-hmm.
least the one that I went to, I had a blast, and everyone who went to this one seemed to have a great time.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I'm curious. I don't think that they are going to change it because they haven't, and this has kind of been a problem for a long time. Is if, players saying they're from a different region or players going to different regions regularly. I think that I don't know how many points Vijay has, but I think most of his points are from like Puerto Rico, the two Mexico events, and maybe a South American event he attended.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is like it does feel weird to get most of your points in a different region and play for a certain region. My proposal has been that you can be from anywhere, and if you get enough championship points to earn an invite exclusively from events in that region, then you deserve a world's invite. But you keep a separate tally for each events in each region.
That sounds too complicated, man. I ain't keeping up with all that.
Yeah, I ain't doing all
You are
that.
What?
keeping tally anyways.
No, I genuinely like every time people ask me how many points I have, I'm always like, I don't know, something. I
Yeah.
think I know roughly what it is. Um,
Yeah, I think we're both at the like, yeah, if we do good at our events, we'll get our invite. If we don't, we don't.
right.
Uh, yeah.
Jimmy asked a bit back in chat, by the way, said, is this the first non-internet's auto invite taken by another region? Like first invader invite stolen? And I think it might be. I know that we talked about earlier in the season, Marcus Dion got close, got second, and I believe the person he lost to was in region, right? So,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, no. I think that was Puerto Rico. That was won by. Was that won
Let's
by
see who.
someone from?
That was an NA player, yeah.
Okay,
Oh wait, no. It
That was an
was.
American.
So was it Merida? Merida, yes. Daniel Nunez.
that
Okay.
was.
So I guess is Diego is Chilean or Australian? Because I've seen his flag on Victory Road for Chilean, right? He won Brisbane regionals.
Mm.
I
Wait,
think
no.
Diego's.
Diego, that's Australian.
Okay.
Yeah, he's playing
Yeah.
in the Australian scene, I believe.
Yeah, he lives there too.
Okay. That makes sense. And then I've seen I saw Korea sorry, a who is it? Shohei Kimura got top
Mhm.
4 there, and I think which Japanese player got top 4 at EUIC because they also stole an invite from the entire
Oh
world.
yeah,
That's true. That's true.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Cali Ice. That's all I remember, but I know
Yeah.
they have been invites stolen.
Let's
Hunter
talk a
from
little bit
PR.
about these teams though. Riley, I don't think I ended
Yeah.
up using anything brand new, despite
Mm,
like it being a team that's weird. It's not typical. Iron Crown, I guess, taking back-to-back tournaments. That's something to note. But a very different team. Riley's been playing with this since basically Worlds, I think, some variation of maybe even these exact six. Just
mhm.
making slight
Mhm.
changes along the way. Finally going the distance. Honestly, this is less of a story of the team and more of a story of sticking to what you know and refining and mastering it. I feel like that's like the main takeaway here, at least for me, seeing Riley go the distance with this. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, I think like yeah, it's his team. I've like
Right.
actually it does not look like it changed from his Worlds team when I played him at Worlds.
Yeah.
But I think on like the same sides of the same coin, like Carson took a team that built with Adi, right? And I think that like Carson has been someone who's frequently changed their team and also see success. So it's like kind of hard to like kind of attribute like should you be staying the same because we have two different examples of two different players and both players seeing a lot of success.
Oh, definitely, definitely. It's not like the only narrative to get away
Yeah,
to take away from this. Definitely.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, I'm just looking Riley. I mean, it was
yeah,
expert belt back then, but honestly, not much else
yeah.
has changed. Just
I
looking pretty
saw
similar.
Dylan play the Ndidi Cali stuff that we like I played at EUIC, but I know that you also liked a lot.
Yeah, yeah, this
Uh
stuff's cool.
I think
Mhm.
I get so sad because like it's done so well and I'm like, oh, if I got to go to another regional and
Hmm.
got to play this stuff, I would have been so happy because obviously Kian killed it and now Dylan got top 8 with it.
Yep.
But I don't think there's anything like too new. Looks like I feel like every team in this cut I feel like I've seen except like the two top 8 like Jonathan and Juan Carlos's team.
Audio,
I'm only
you
saying.
and Carson planning on talking about this team?
Uh,
I can't
yeah,
remember.
I was gonna. So, if you watched Top Takes last week, then you saw me talk about this team a little bit because I used this at Atlanta Regionals. And I couldn't mention Carson at all because didn't want anyone to know that he was using this team at Monterey. It's a much smaller tournament, and I think you guys could see that he was one of the 3 or 4 biggest names at the tournament. So, kind of makes
Mm-hmm.
sense that he didn't want people to know what he was running, might get targeted down. But yeah, he was the driving force behind team building on this team. Um, I know the format's kind of over, and obviously this team is very derivative of what Jamie Boyd did at Stockholm. So we were thinking about doing a video, still kind of deciding because I don't want to do a full team report. Thinking about doing a video called like "How to Steal a Team," where we talk about how we our process from adapting Jamie Boyd's team to what we team that we kind of built and we thought had a better overall matchup. And so if that's something people would be interested in, let me know. And
I'd be interested in that.
we'll see. We'll see. I think it'll be. I think that'd be a cool way of doing it because I don't think anyone wants to sit here and let's hear us talk about EV spreads for 45 minutes and in a dead format.
Yeah,
That's all
no,
I want to
I'd
hear.
be down to watch that. I'd hear how to steal efficiently.
The best
Alex needs
players.
his needs something to go to bed with. He needs
Yes,
his
that's
ASMR.
true. Yep,
Be
yep, yep.
quietly talking about EV spreads.
EV spreads to fall asleep too. Oh man, that'll get you all the clicks. Okay, but yeah, it looks like actually similar core managed to get top four here from Chui. I'm not sure if I'm saying that one right, but yeah, they got the Wheezing take on this team.
Hmm.
Um, still pretty cool. Um, has the
I
more
think this
common
is
of
the same
the
team that Sam Pletcher used at Atlanta.
right. This does look familiar. I thought so. That probably
Hmm.
is the case. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Atlanta. Sam Pletcher. Yes, yes, it is the same six.
Yep.
Um, but what about this seventh place team though? There's a doggy.
Does have the doggy. Uh,
Everything else
no,
here. Oh, you know what? We're not seeing this a lot in Reg G. Is the three attack Shadow Rider? I feel like we're all nasty plot in Reg G. And this one's just like got Draining Kiss without Terra Fairy or It doesn't have a setup move either. It just has draining kiss just for coverage. Adi's
I
like
don't
wincing
believe
a little bit
in
looking at
draining
that.
kiss without Terra Fairy. You get the damage boost when you Terra Fairy as well, like the base power boost. So I don't think you can do that. But I was thinking about using Shadow Rider with 3 attacking moves. When you run Life Orb, you don't actually click Nasty Plot all that often. And also Okidogi was a Pokemon that I was trying to convince Carson that we should consider running in that last slot before we picked Tinkaton. So it was not the stupidest Pokemon that we considered.
Is it? I don't know. Like, do you guys respect Dogi or Tinkaton more? Like, obviously Tinkaton ended up getting the job done for that team, but like, I feel like I have a little bit more respect for Dogi in terms of like, it just doesn't have like a 70 attack stat, I guess.
Yeah. Well, a big part of it is just like there are not a ton of great ways to hit fairy types. And so you want like poison or steel coverage to hit fairy types. And so there's not a lot of options in this format. And Okidogi is definitely one of them.
And honestly, I got reminded the other day that Guard Dog is not actually like its original ability. And that actually like belongs to Mabostiff. I believe that's Mabostiff's ability that is not seen any use in Scarlet and Violet VGC. But that's only because Reggae was too short. You know, I'm sure we would have hit that point if Reggae just got a little bit more development time. Just a little bit more, we would have probably seen some Mabostiff teams get figured out.
For sure.
If we had Instant in Reggae, it would have been used. I promise you that.
I guess speaking of formats that got a little bit extra time, Reg G got a little bit extra time, right? And now Koraidon became one of the like late risers. How do you guys feel? Like, obviously, I guess Alex and I kind of were already like over this format when it started again, but like, how do you guys feel about Reg G +2? Because I guess this will be the last time you guys talk about Reg G, right?
Yeah,
We got to recap
like
Sevilla regionals next week. You're not excited about that?
No, you already know that, and like it's gonna be a European Reg G tour, so it could not be more interesting. We're looking forward to that one.
Well, to answer your question, Jeudy, I think that I still really didn't enjoy playing this format the second time around. I really did think that it saw the element of it was very difficult to cover all your matchups because there were so many different restricted you had to face. That being said, I did think that the Ryzen Koraidon was very cool to see. I mean, like the metagame did continue to grow, continue to change. People figured out new stuff, which is cool to see. And I think that, like Koraidon is not the best restricted in this format, despite the fact that it is doing the best at the very end of this format. It is just kind of constantly shifting, which is cool. It really does mean that it had a lot more life than I gave it credit for when it came back. So, and on the specific point about Koraidon, again, I really think that the thing about Koraidon that really broke it was this Covert Cloak Brute Bonnet. Like every single team that did well basically has the Covert Cloak Brute Bonnet. I really think that's and even in my testing, I felt like that was the crazy part about all the Koraidon teams. It just fits so well into the metagame right now.
I've seen the EU can't build and they can't play comments. Did I say this one already? That you're supposed to like start at Europe and travel west and like end in Japan, and like the more you go west, the more degenerate shit gets. I feel like I said this one before, but like it's really so true. Aside from like a couple Europeans who decide to actually play fun teams like Boit and I don't know who else does fun stuff besides Boit these days. Kutesh, he's been a little inactive, you know. I'm trying to think of like other oddball EU players.
I think Nils always comes up with something fun. It's not that wacky, but it's always off meta.
He does his own thing. That's true. I can respect it.
And that's why we claim him as an NA player.
That's why he's an NA player. Does MDB count? No, MDB runs boring stuff. Even his Heart Trick Room team was like, it's kind of fun. It was a little bit different, but like Kutesh could cook. Let's see. Any other teams here that we should give a mention before talking about some more Reg G at the next one? That is a Typhlosion Hisui. No one got the memo to leave all of these Pokemon behind in Reg H. Iron Ball, all attacking moves. We don't even need Hyper Voice. We have Snarl. Life Orb, no Woodhammer. We got Knockoff. We need it. Every
Okay,
single Mon has some jump scare to it, by the way. Like, I guess you could call Specs Flutter the most normal thing here. That's Scarf Wisp on the Typhlosion. There's not a single Protect that's based. I love it. Protect is a coward's move used to reposition when you're out of position. Just simply don't be out of position. Always be threatening. This team needs 3 AVs. Yeah, they need 6 because they don't want to use Protect. Oh my god, that's awesome.
Yeah,
But
no, I'm looking at this team. It's kind of
They cook.
sauced up, a little too sauced.
a little too sauce. I would have to agree. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the next one here. Always double the Mon that can't protect. When both Mons can't protect, your eyes like go like the reverse of cross. You're like, what do I do? So the Malaysia Master Ball tournament was held over this past weekend, and this is the one that you had to qualify for this tournament in the Premier Ball League, right? As well as, was there any other methods? No. What am I
If
thinking?
you did well in the Premier Ball League, you got a bye.
It was a
in this
bye.
tournament.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think otherwise it was everyone signs up. If you didn't get like top 8 in the Premier Ball League, you didn't get an auto invite. And I don't know if they filled up or not because it says 48 players, which is a nice like roundish number. But
That's
I don't know
true.
if they actually if they just that's all the people that showed up. I thought normally capacity you'd expect it to be more than 48, right? So
I agree. But this was I think they ended up extending it. I don't remember if we did or didn't cover it on Tubtix. It might have been like originally top 8 were getting Worlds invites, but now it's top 12. So the top 12 did get Worlds invites, and it was won by, it looks like the Rios. I believe Eric got this team from a Japanese builder or something close to it, but yeah, the Rios ended up popularizing it. This one, although I definitely don't remember Sunny Day being on the Screamtail originally. That's pretty funny. That looks new.
That is new for sure.
But yeah, this team, yeah, it's just Calm Mind stuff. Calm Mind and Cinderella, thrilling. There was a story about the second one though that Adi linked here. And Adi, I'll let you take it away because I read up a little bit about it, but maybe you know more than I do.
Oh, I mean, I know exactly what I read in this thread. First of all, Ismat is an old time player. I think he won a regional back in 2019 in Malaysia, so I recognize the name from Gen 7. But yeah, he apparently lost his Indeedee in round 1 because his team sheet said it was Rocky Helmet, and just played the entire tournament without Indeedee. So he played a 5-mon team and got all the way to finals and lost, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder. Oh, maybe Dozo actually had the helmet. Yes, Dozo actually had the helmet. I was like, why was it between Indeedee and Dozo? And like, we're pointing the gun at both. Like, who do we kill? But no, it's because Indeedee was the one that actually was lying. Indeedee was the imposter. Got it. Man, it would be nice if we had like an actual legality checker behind the team sheet creator. Like, that'd be crazy. That's a big ask. I understand, of course, but like,
of course.
that, like, imagine if it just like gave you a little warning that you had 2 Rocky helmets. Like, this just shouldn't. I don't know why I'm randomly picking this tangent to go off on, but like, it's something that's like kind of annoying that like you can have stuff like this fly. I know that a friend at Atlanta had an annoying issue come up where they were playing against multi-scale Dragonites, and they hit it with an attack that did like way less than it was supposed to. I think it was Behemoth Blade from Zacian, and it just like ate that shit up. And it's like, there's no way it can take this much damage. It has to be multi-scale, but you can't really like call them on it. I had a very silly one at Fort Wayne 23. I played against Shadow Claw Flutter, and I was like, I don't think Flutter even learned Shadow Claw. They never clicked Shadow Ball for me to like be able to call him on it. I also lost that set, but I didn't want to like take the set because they had Shadow Claw. My team was very bad. Like, just don't worry about it. But anyways, yeah, it was just goofy because like I'm not gonna Like I also didn't want to like
Yeah.
call the judge on that one and just be wrong. Like maybe Flutter does learn Shadow Claw, so I just looked it up after the match. And yeah, it's just goofy, but it's I don't know why this is even a thing. We should just have like a legality checker built in. Our team sheet thing. Well, we shouldn't have team sheets to begin in general, but that's a different story. Anyways, I've gone on like 1,000 tangents.
No,
So wait, so
I
you think
think
we should be able to switch teams between rounds?
Yeah. Like we should be able to lock our boxes. We should be able to. There's a lot of features that we've been cutting back on over the years. We should be able to save replays.
I will say the box lock thing. It took a long time to have to get every single person box locked at a tournament. That part was actually kind of annoying. It's so much faster now.
And we had way less players then.
Yeah, like I actually don't think we could go back to manual box locking. It would have to be something like we did at locals, where you could just do it on the internet and lock it.
Wait, did we do that at locals? There was a thing for that, was it? I think you might be right.
I think so. You connect to the online competition and then you can lock your box.
I think that sounds right. Yeah, bring back features like that. But yeah, this is super goofy that he was able to make it this deep with 5-mon team. I think we've seen some pretty funny 5-mon team runs in the past. Wasn't it was it Desu who had like a good run, or am I mixing? I think it was somebody else who like had like 5-mon.
Desu had 4 Pokemon.
4?
Yeah.
Wait, when did he have 4?
I remember it was the Registeel team.
Also, why are you doing the 4 like
oh, yeah.
meme image, like the hold up 4
Yeah.
fingers to the camera? Oh man. Oh no, he
The
had
Registeel
another
team
one,
was
I see.
crazy. There's been a lot. I mean, Fede made day 2 at Worlds with a 5-mon team. There were a couple people who made day 2 of Worlds with a 5-mon team in 2023, and then got to change their team for day 2 and fixed it and made it to top cut. There was one more recently that had a 5-mon team that slipped my mind now. Who was it?
So many. So it's
Marco Fiero had this happen once. I don't remember it happening to Marco. I believe you. I mean, like, I just don't remember it.
Oh, you know which one was really cool? Was it who was it? It was a 2022 NAIC. I remember Kyle very nearly lost to them on the side stream.
I also remember it. Yeah, they actually like got like top 32 at NAIC with like 5 mons. And I think they like did legitimately win some games with only the 5 mons.
They lost the win in it. At the end of it, it was Dawe. I think it was Dawe. I remember they lost to Tyrone in the win in it. Got ninth place.
That's crazy.
Losing to Zacian on Zacian Ogre, if I recall correctly. It was really important. They didn't have restricted.
Yeah. That's crazy to lose a restricted and just keep going. Oh man. Any of these other teams cool here? Let's see. Nah, I mean, no. There's a Gallade.
Really try to talk yourself into it.
Right.
It is really cool to see more invites being given out to players in Southeast Asia. Congrats to everyone who did make it from Malaysia, and I hope that they can actually make it, because I think that as far as places to go for Worlds, I think Los Angeles is one of the cheaper ones. So hopefully we see more than just the 2 players who got travel awards at Worlds this year.
That is always the brutal part. If you don't get the TA, like, it is just expensive. So, yeah, with that said, then, I guess let's just go ahead and talk about some of the teams from. Well, no, I was saving that for the last one, because we're moving on from Reg G after this. But yeah, we got to talk really quickly about Seville. That one is happening this weekend. It's got an official stream and everything, so that will be fun to watch. I don't know. I feel a little bit like I'm lying saying that word, but
I'm not watching it. I'm sorry. There's no shot I'm watching this.
The thing is, I'm kind of like, I'm a sucker for watching like live Pokemon sets. It's a lot less fun watching them back, and this one's gonna be hard to watch live. So I feel like that's probably not something Yeah, let's watch it. Yeah, you go ahead, Pokemon Ranger Emerald. No one's stopping you. But I don't know. Also, Adi, you typed Sevilla earlier, and I was like, this guy doesn't know anything. He typoed. And then I'm seeing both spellings here: Sevilla with an E and Sevilla A. I don't actually know which one's right. Maybe it's
Okay,
like a
so
translation thing.
Seville is the anglicized version of it. Sevilla is what they say in
Yeah.
Spain. I studied abroad in Sevilla when I was in college, and so I've been there. Beautiful city. Love to go back sometime. But I also say Sevilla because I spent some time there.
Wow, Adi's local, dude. He basically lives there. He basically is like part of the culture. Holy shit.
It is such a cool city. It's absolutely beautiful. They filmed some of Game of Thrones there. All the Dorne scenes are filmed in this Moorish castle in Sevilla. It's absolutely beautiful.
Oh, that's cool.
Definitely would recommend going.
That is dope. Okay, but yeah, other than that, I don't really know what other things to say besides like this is close to the like once this one's in the books, then Europe's going to start moving on to Reg I, and we'll kind of like have everybody. I know that a good number of Europeans have already been playing in some of like the Victory Road tournaments and stuff like that. But yeah, this is like still something that's probably holding some people back from moving on to playing the next format. Because yeah, I mean, for NA players going to Milwaukee, you can't really like just sit around and wait until the format is officially started. Like it starts what on a Thursday? Yes, it starts on a Thursday, and Milwaukee is 2 days later, right?
Yep.
So you can't really just like wait for that. You got to start playing ahead of time. Europe, I don't actually know when Europe's first Reg I event is. Let me actually go look here if I can find the calendar. Where is the calendar? I think it's this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but it doesn't sort them by. Yeah, it's fine. Oh, we can get there.
It is May 17th, 18th in Utrecht.
Oh, Utrecht. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Audi found it before me, but you guys heard it.
Yeah, we have and then the weekend after that we have our Portland regionals. So wouldn't shock me if saying all that aloud wouldn't shock me if the GC is on the May 10th, 11th weekend. That seems like the open weekend we have.
Right. Which is crazy that it's not announced yet, because that would be less than a month, right? I mean,
yeah.
Unless weren't they doing that during the Grand Challenges earlier this year anyways? Like they would just kind of like leave us hanging for a little bit and then just stealth drop it basically.
I think because the last few were for Japan and their Japan Nationals qualifiers, they were kind of announced earlier. But yeah, we were getting them like 2 weeks in advance, which is kind of scary because it could be that weekend and it could be the weekend of Portland. It's not going to be the May 17th, 18th weekend because I'm looking at the schedule and there's also a regional in Australia and a regional in Chile the same weekend. So there's a lot going on the weekend of Utrecht, and I don't think they want to they want to overlap with 3 regionals if they can. Although, as an American, I would not complain whatsoever. By all means, please do it, and let us dodge all the European players in the GC.
And then also this weekend is Johannesburg, one of the South African events. So that one.
How many players who are not from from Africa in general, I guess, do you think are going to this event? Do you think it's more than 2?
Wait. What are you saying? Are you think how many invaders are you asking?
Yeah.
I mean, VJ is a surefire one, right?
Like I feel like if I had infinite money and I wanted to secure a Worlds invite as easily as possible, I would be going to this event.
This is a SPE, so just points. But in auto qual for first, right?
Yep.
All right, Adi, you always end up looking this up. How much are your flights? I know that it's like way too late to be booking your flights. So of course it's gonna be way.
I have
inflated.
looked at this. It's about a $2,000 round trip if you book in a reasonable amount of time.
Oh my god. Okay.
But like, and it's a special event, so you don't actually make your money back. But it is like, but like if you're going for, I don't know. The thing is like Day 2 Worlds isn't even worth that much, right? I think from Europe it might be cheaper, because I know this is the place that the Germans have invaded in 2016.
Yeah.
with Billa. And I
Yep.
think someone in chat
I
said
didn't
the
know if
Yale
you were
server is
talking
going.
about-
I don't know if that's true or not.
I didn't know if you were talking about VGC or if we were just getting like a little history lesson, like the Germany's invaded.
No,
Germans
no.
invaded South Africa. I was like, huh? What?
not.
No,
Like, I'm
Billa is a South African regional champion.
Because I'm like, I know what the
No, he's
stream
not.
title is. We said U.S. invades Mexico, but like,
I forgot about that. Also, Billa got 4th place at that nationals. He did not win at.
I
And
thought
he still got.
he still got
Nope.
his okay.
He got 4th, but he still got the travel award.
God. Oh, that's just the story behind it. Okay, okay. Anyway, Sevilla this weekend. Yay, Reg G. Yay, watch it on stream. Let's go.
Wait, you forgot the other event that's happening this weekend.
What was that
There's
one? I missed it.
There's the Philippines Master Ball League as well.
Okay, okay. Philippines Master Ball League. Let's go.
I don't see a post for, but yeah, that is also happening this weekend too. So
Yeah.
one last, if you are in Malaysia and the Philippines and you have to play a Reg G event at this point of the season to secure your Worlds Invite, I am so sorry. That sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you had to have locked in just like a while ago and just like kind of just know what you're doing. But yeah, let's for the rest of the world, everybody's talking about I. Everybody's moved on to talking about Regulation I, and so let's go ahead and talk about some Regulation I. Some a little bit more fun stuff. Adi, I think you also were putting off Reg I until post Atlanta, right? So have you gotten a chance to play some now, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I've played a decent amount. I've laddered a bit. I've got a ladder in the top, one ult in the top 500. That's all I can ask for. So now I can play some real quality games.
So Adi, is this the best format we've ever had, or the literal worst? It's one of the two, right?
Yeah. Well, given that we haven't had a tournament yet, the metagame just feels so diverse, and I gotta say it's the best format we've ever had. And I hope it doesn't change at all. Yeah, best ever.
This one, you heard it here, guys. That's Adi's statement for the rest of the format. He said this one's the best ever. He's not going to change his opinion on this one.
The first tournament of the format is always the most fun, and so we're currently in that like blissful stage where the meta hasn't developed and you can do whatever you want. And as soon as we pass that stage, it's going to be miserable.
Real.
I'm worried a little bit, only mildly, because we've seen back-to-back Victory Road tournaments won by 5 of the same 6. Now, that is like Victory Road tournaments are not like, IRL tournaments. People put a little bit more effort into those ones. Not to say that these players didn't, give it their all for these ones, but just higher player counts and quality. So regardless, though, Zine ended up winning this one with a Shadow Rider team that has Chen Pao instead of Incineroar. I think that's what was on the team that won last time. And some other thrilling differences, like, oh, it was Scarfish before and now it's Mystic Water, and like, oh, the last Calyrex was Life Orb, this one's Sash, but well, if Adi likes it, I'll like it. Yeah, see, Adi gave his endorsement, now you have to like it. But I would not be we talked about this before, but would not be surprised if a lot of people just parrot what they see in Victory Road. A lot of people just love to take a build that's already proven itself and run with it. So definitely be ready to fight teams like this. And yeah, the annoying thing right now is that Shadow Rider Zamazenta, it made double finals appearances. Obviously the restricteds are in common, but they almost have completely different supporting casts. They both do have Rilla, but this one's Life Orb. It has Giga Drain. You have to deal with a Smeargle and a Hearthflame, and so it's just this is one of the archetypes that I feel is going to be the most diverse because they are a pretty complete package between Shadow Rider and Zama. Zama's never really going to do anything spicy. I feel Zama's sets are always going to be the same. Oh, are we picking between Heavy Slam or Behemoth Bash today? But you can see Life Orb or Sash Shadow Rider. You can see a whole host of different coverage or support moves on them. And so those can all definitely be influencing the rest of the Pokemon you pick, or the rest of the Pokemon you pick can influence what the Shadow Rider set looks, vice versa. And so you have to be ready for quite a lot of different game plans. You have to have a lot of different game plans against this archetype, and that is one reason that it kind of just naturally rises to the top, is that it's so figured out. So like the synergy between these two is just incredible, of course.
Yeah.
Heavy Slam is always better. My personal opinion is thumbs down.
Depends. I think it's interesting. I think that like we talked about like how the tournament. I think the Japanese players, this is their money tour right here.
That's
So I
true.
think
That's
like
true.
looking at Shohei's team, I'm like that's like probably the most real team. Easily, right? They also like are just known to like trying so hard. I think if there's anything to talk about is that Calyrex Shadow's third move is really not just nasty plot. I think that's been like the story of it. Like it can be Encore, it can be Will-O-Wisp,
Mm-hmm.
it can be Disable, and I think that's going to be pretty big. I will say Regulation G had the same thing. The first few VR tours, it was just CSR, all Sash CSRs, and then come uh Indianapolis, right? Maridon won, right? And I think that CSR doing so well in the VR tours actually put that target. It gave people direction on what they should be like countering. But
Mm-hmm.
it's cool because like we've had like now it's like a year of Reg G. So we have still like all of these Reg G meta developments on some of these Pokemon. We're not gonna just see people default to Sash Cali. People are actually gonna play different Calyrex Shadows.
Mm-hmm.
But no, Shohei's team, incredibly strong. I think that the Rain Dance Torn is probably my favorite version of these teams because of suspect number two is Koraidons everywhere.
Right. It is the third most used restricted, and I feel like it's gunning for
Mhm.
second. I feel like it is definitely going to be what it is second in day two only, right? I think I'm seeing that right here.
Yeah. Yep. You are
Yeah.
correct.
So yeah, it
And
is
also,
crazy. Go ahead, Ollie.
uh, Koraidon Lunala is the second most used combination too, which is kind of crazy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, stealing Chuppa's Twitter observation, but he did point out like that the first three are all different pairings, like like 6 unique Pokemon, and
Uh-huh.
they all play very differently, and that's super true and kind of cool. That there's just like some different styles at the top, and then like if you go down further, there's also some pretty different styles. It's funny if you just put Swordfish above Miraidon Lunala, that is still two more unique Pokemon. Um,
Mhm.
I was complaining about
Yeah.
this the other day about how like this is maybe the most diverse double restricted format we've seen. It'll probably simplify with time, of course. It's very
Mhm.
early, but like not only are the Shadow Rider Zamazenta teams diverse themselves within their archetype, but you also have to be ready for so many different archetypes in this format. It is insane. Um, and I think
Yeah.
Lunala, somebody pointed this out on Twitter as well. Again, I'm just stealing some Twitter observations, but I think somebody said that Lunala was like the only pre-Gen 8 restricted. They were wrong because there is one Kyogre. But yeah, there's one Kyogre, a bunch of Lunala, and then it's just Gen 8. Um, Gen 8 restricted's going insane. I mean, that's not really to anybody's surprise. We're literally missing the Gen 6 restricteds. Those guys could hold up if they were here.
Yeah.
Um, the what is it? And then it makes sense like Gen 4 was just a big whiff. Gen 5 also a big whiff. So um and like Gen
Uh,
3, they're still holding on because their abilities are just so broken that like of course they couldn't get completely power corrupt until they made like a Groudon 2. Unfortunately, Groudon they released Groudon 2, the sequel, and now he's doing a little bit worse. Zygarde
yeah.
100%. I for some reason when you said Zygarde 100%, I didn't think you meant the form and that you meant like it would be 100% usage if it was here. I'm like, hell yes, Zygarde sweet.
I guess the which I don't think is on the thingy, but there's a Japanese tournament too, right?
Yes, I forgot to grab that
And
one, and I couldn't find a link.
mhm.
If anybody finds one, let me know. I can pull it up. We can talk about that one afterwards.
Yeah,
Um,
but that one was
So
like noted by Ho-Oh, and like Ho-Oh, there's only one
yes,
Ho-Oh in top 32.
yeah. There's one here in 20th, and I don't agree with all of the choices on here. Like, I feel like you probably want a defensive Terra on Ho-Oh, even though I guess you could argue Fire has some defensive properties. You're not weak to electric, you resist ice, and you're not quad weak to rock. So there's some things, but regardless, Ho-Oh is looking pretty real. Yeah, I would say that Ho-Oh. The difference between Ho-Oh is like for everybody that's like very cautious about Ho-Oh is like it's always this early meta like uh, overhyped thing basically in a lot
Hmm.
of previous formats because like a lot of previous formats were run by Zerndon, Xerneas and Groudon, and it was really good at walling those two Pokemon. It could resist their attacks. However, in return, it was hitting the Groudon for 30% with Brave Bird. It was hitting the Xerneas for 40% with like Sacred Fire or whatever, and that just wasn't enough. Now it kind of targets the top archetypes very well. Looking at Shadow Rider, it does well over half to it and can take the Astral Barrage pretty well. And against Zamazenta, it takes Sacred Fire for good damage, and the burn could completely ruin it. So it's like pretty solid at dealing with those guys. Not to mention that the Sun teams we talked about, Sun being on the rise. Koraidon typically doesn't run a dragon move. This one technically does, but its stabs are effectively fighting in fire, and Ho-Oh walls that as well. So and Zacian, not to mention Zacian. So yeah, Ho-Oh, it's got some good things going for it.
Yeah. Uh, I think my worry, because I've played some of this team too, is just like I like how prevalent Rain Dance Torn will eventually be. Because
Yep.
playing some of these Sun teams without Raging Bolt into that just feels so miserable sometimes. But we'll
Mm-hmm.
see. There's also the Miraidon. Obviously, we'll get to that if we do get to it. There's the Miraidon Ho-Oh as well. So excited to see Ho-Oh, a Gen 2 Mon that has been bad pretty much every format, every regulation, finally having like a real legitimate niche. Other
Mm-hmm.
than that, uh, I think that none of the teams are too crazy. We're starting to see different ways that people are building Cali Ice, which is cool because Cali Ice didn't do too well, if I remember, in the first VR tour.
Right. Right.
I think there were two in Top Cut then, and there are two in Top Cut now as well. So
Mm-hmm.
it didn't. I think Top Cut last time might have been bigger, but it does seem like I do like the direction that they're taking in this one. I like Cheers team a lot with the Iron Valiant. I think Iron Valiant Cali Ice Maridon is definitely the approach to take, just because you get to put a focus sash on the Valiant. That guy really wants a focus sash, and is we saw it on Cali Ice teams before as like this perfect complement. So I'm not at all surprised to see that do really well, along with the regular like Iron Hands Furgraph that you kind of normally see on these teams. Um, so yeah, this team is very cool to me. Marco's team, I don't know much about, but it looks a lot less interesting overall. It is the type of team that I look at and I'm like, yeah, I mean Marco's a good enough player that he's going to carry whatever he uses to top 8, but I don't believe in this one nearly as much.
He used the same team that Chichet used in the previous VR. I played it in my run, and so I'm guessing that just got it handed to him from Chichet, but they yeah, they probably talked about that one. Let me see. I can't find the tournament that
I
the
put
Japanese played.
the top 8 in Top TV.
Okay, okay,
I was
cool.
given a screenshot of it at the very least.
The screenshot with tub dates on the top. Hell yes. Thank you for let me maybe zoom in a little. Um, oh yeah, that's the quality that we're looking for. Oh man.
Uh,
I mean it's good enough at the very least. Is this the wait, this is not the one that had Ho-Oh. This is a different tournament.
No, this is a
What was
different
the
one.
Ho?
This is Terra
What's the
Square.
Ho one?
I think this one's in person.
Oh,
oh,
okay,
Uh,
okay, okay. I just know that here I can grab the link for that UV Slow used. Because this team also looked
mhm.
pretty cool. It was Ho-Oh and Koraidon. With it's got that bolt and then that Treads. Though they're here to hold down the fort. I think Treads is pretty funny, pretty cool. It's like a anti Miraidon, anti Zacian guy that you can run on your team and just
Yeah.
give those Pokemon a hard time. It also has knockoff to one-shot Shadow Rider or get rid of scarfs on things that you don't want to have a scarf anymore. Or I don't know. I feel like knockoff's just got some good utility when it's hitting at a booster speed. So that's pretty cool.
This is the I don't have a Ice Rider Miraidon matchup. Help! What do I do in my last slot to give me a matchup? Oh, I figured it out. It's the Iron Trends.
Yeah, a little bit, honestly, a little.
You get to knock off and then parting shot with your Incineroar, so that you can
Yo,
get the
yo. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. But yeah, I think we skipped over third place here in the VR tour, which featured they were the 10-0 number 1 seed with Koraidon and Pagos, and like the rest of the team, it's kind of funny. It's like a bit of a blend of like the boring CM Pagos teams that we've seen and the Koraidon offense teams that we've seen like from Reg G. I mean, of course, as we get more into the depths of Reg I, we're gonna want to start to like distance teams from like their Reg G counterparts and start to just kind of like realize cores on their own with like your 2 restricteds, because it will play quite different from Reg G. But even still, these are just a lot of like the same good Pokemon that you'd seen on both of those teams. Go ahead, Jeudy.
This is actually very close to what another Japanese player used last week as well.
Right.
I think the only difference is like Raging Bolt is over something. But this is like an archetype I've seen Japanese players already start using. It was it was over Rillaboom. One had Rillaboom, this one has Raging Bolt. So that's actually pretty cool. I like this team as well. I don't know, it's something about Terapagos. I'm actually liking Terapagos this format, which is crazy because I feel like everyone kind of had the expectation of Terapagos being like bad or like not good because it's going to be such a Terra hog. But it feels like Terapagos has like found itself like a really nice role in the meta, and that's been pretty cool.
Cool is a word to use for it. Like
So I agree. I think it's interesting that Pagos has stuck around. I really didn't think it would. And it made more sense on Shadow Rider teams to me. This team, it's just like I feel like when I was playing Koraidon felt like a Terra Hog because it has so many common weaknesses. And Pagos also kind of feels like a Terra Hog. I haven't played this team at all, so I don't know for certain that it has that issue, but it is hard. Like I feel like you normally want Pokemon that are really like their defensive typing, and Koraidon does not strike me as one of those Pokemon most of the time. But maybe that's also like maybe people are dropping Flutter Mane, or I guess the ability to turn off its speed. Maybe people are not running Dazzling Gleam on Miraidon as much or something like that. But yeah, I don't know.
I think the other thing, the natural synergy here, is that like anything that you would bring to counter Terapagos gets farmed by the Sun mode, right? And people joke about Raging Bolt being another restricted, right? Like I think that like Sun, like Flutter Mane, Sash Flutter feels like another restricted. Raging Bolt again, like I said, feels really good. So like the team often will not bring their second restricted. And I think that like that's how the team can operate as well. And I think that's like also just really strong. Like if you overhedge for the Terapagos by bringing stuff like Urshifu or like Zama, right? Or like even like Incineroar for like fake outs and stuff, you end up getting like kind of eaten alive by the other part of the team. And I think that's where this team's like synergy really comes. It's playing like Reg G 1.5 or right in between those two modes.
Like H.
That's fair.
Because the H is in between G and I. That's what you mean.
Yeah.
We could call it
regulation.
I mean, Raging Bolt and Flutter Mane are kind of restricted Pokemon, right? So in the sun. So I do kind of get it.
The annoying thing about these Pagos teams is that they have an element of like go go go. Like the Koraidon is like here like to like kill you really fast, and if you don't have the ability to match that pace, they might just run you over. And then the Pagos is like the slow, where like it's gonna play this drawn out game. So it can be difficult to cover for both aspects of the team, whether it's Koraidon or Shadow Rider here. And it wouldn't surprise me if more people try just other restricteds that seem like they don't have synergy with Pagos, but like just, just slap whatever next to it and it'll work, like Miraidon, Ice Rider, Zama, I don't know. Pagos is turning out to be quite a lot more flexible than I would have imagined going into this format. And so, yeah, I think Marco Fierro tweeted something like Terapagos is going to be this format's Miraidon. Now, I think people are realizing it a little bit faster than we realized how good Miraidon was, but regardless, like, it is a very strong meta staple that like isn't like literally like the strongest restricted of the bunch, but it's a very good Pokemon you have to respect in the builder, of course. But yeah, let's see other teams. This one is a 4 or 6 that I think is getting quite common, so you definitely got to be ready for it.
Yeah.
It's just kind of Karai, Lunala, which by the way, the good name I've seen for this one that we're gonna all keep working with. For Miraidon, Ice Rider, of course, Bolt Beam Speed Sandwich. Keep that one going. We're gonna make that one work. Gonna make that one happen. Swordfish, Shieldfish, those are easy. This is Koala. I like Koala. It's very easy to say. Very easy to like. I don't know. Koala is Ko-Rhydon Lunala. I mean, like, it's not like the best parts of Lunala's names. Like when you look at Lunala, you think of it as like Luna. We can't say Lunadon. Lunadon got canceled. Okay. You have to understand, Lunadon is literally a different thing. Did Lunadon actually did it even place in this tournament?
I don't think.
No! Where's Lunadon?
There were no Groudon. There were no Groudon in the most represented restricted combos either.
Lunaco, God. I mean, like,
okay, but what if we include the Ursa Luna in the core and we call it the
Lunadon?
The Coral Lunadon. The core. Sorry, the Coral Lunala. There we go.
Oh, you ended up bringing Lunadon? That's tough.
Yeah.
And yeah, we can't say Lunadon because like Miraidon Lunala it was actually the third most common pairing, wasn't it? Fourth most common pairing. So like people are really using that stuff. So we need. I don't have a good name for that one, by the way. But I like Koala. I want to work with
for which
one.
Miraidon
Lunala. Miraidon Lunala.
Morala.
You know what?
Morala. Based on the naming scheme of this one.
You were on the. I guess. Do you want to talk about this more? Before I change the topic. Yeah.
Not a ton, because honestly, it's getting popular. That's all I'm really here to say is that like I'm seeing it around a lot in limitless tournaments and stuff like that. But go ahead and what was the next team you wanted to point out, Adi?
You scroll down to the restricted pairs, and I noticed that Zacian Kyogre, number 5 in usage. We were speculating it could be number 4 in usage. It's only one person. 0 day 2s. I wanted to point that out because that's kind of crazy. It seems like one of the combos everyone was very excited for. A lot of people brought it, and then no one converted with it, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I think that like I think a lot of people that were like sword fishing are the same people who were like it's their first reg eye, and they're like, oh, swordfish did good in whatever that was, it's 2022. It has to do good here. And it's like, no. I feel like the people who are hype about swordfish generally were people who actually didn't play in 2022. And it's just like you can kind of tell like they're just kind of like Zacian's nerfed, right? And Kyogre is going through like wide guard like Haven, right? And like I've seen Hydro Pump on. Yeah, hell. Yeah. But yeah.
See, dog, that's the funny thing. Like, yeah, with Kyogre, you would think that like it might be nice to run Kyogre to have the ability to offset Koraidon, but my issue with them is that, you want to click your water move and they switch in their Koraidon. Now the Sunsetter resists Water Spout. When you got to do 50% to Groudon in the sun, that was good progress, Like they could only do that one more time in the battle before they were done. Koraidon switches in very easily. If you want to Ice Beam on the read, it feels like you're kind of throwing away your pressure. Like, you're not hitting 2 Pokemon. It's just getting off a super effective Ice Beam at best. And then on the flip side, let's say you're switching in on that Koraidon. If it's a close combat or a collision course, like, that's probably 50% on your Kyogre despite taking the weather advantage back in your favor. So you have to be very careful. Of course, you can have Rain Dance Torn or something like that to help offset that. Definitely, definitely. But yeah, I think the main thing is people aren't realizing how much you need to account for wide guard on Kyogre and maybe building the teams around that a little bit better. I genuinely think you're supposed to run Hydro Pump on this Pokemon instead of either Ice Beam or Origin Pulse. We're kind of like we're talking up using Hydro Pump, which isn't even like the most reliable move in the game, and there's probably stronger, more safe options out there. So I have not liked the fish much. I definitely feel like Swordfish is lacking. But yeah, somebody mentioned in the chat like Ryan didn't Sableye do well with it. Even Sableye, who I think was like all over Swordfish at the start of the format, just moved on. Just Shadow Rider Kyogre here. So I don't know. Adi, did you have thoughts about the fish?
Yeah, I like this combo a lot more than I like Kyogre Zacian. I think that Kyogre as a supporting mon that covers Calorex's weaknesses is a little better, and vice versa, to some extent. But yeah, like I think that I'm not worried about Koraidon. I think the reason to use Kyogre, when I was testing Kyogre, was that there are so many teams out there that are just Koraidon and like 3 photosynthesis Pokemon, or like a Chiyu and 2 photosynthesis Pokemon, right? And it's like they are playing on a different power level than you are if you let them control the weather and you don't have any abusers. And so Kyogre is one of the very few Pokemon that like actually kind of levels the playing field without forcing you to run Pelipper, right? And so you can like, yeah, your Kyogre isn't getting big damage attacks off, but their Chiyu is not either, and their Fluttermane isn't getting a speed boost, so your Calyrex can outspeed it. And those are like some, I think, pretty important interactions that make Kyogre more playable. But I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know if Zacian does enough for it. I think you can't rely on Kyogre to be the big spread damage option that it was in the past. I also do like Hydro Pump. I think that I think Zamazenta is a bigger problem for Kyogre than Koraidon is, and Hydro Pump is a solution to that problem.
Fuck coverage, dude. Who needs Ice Beam? Just run 3 water moves.
Some 3 water moves.
Could be an option. Let me see here, but is there anything else we were talking about that I forgot to mention? I don't know. I'm gonna keep looking at teams here just really quick at a glance. I think this got top 8 in the previous one as well, previous VR tour. So still a team to watch out for, still doing well. This is like the HO of the format, just 2 very fast, strong mons and some things to do their best to hold down the fort. Indeedee and Brute Bonnet have a big job to make sure that like Trick Room doesn't completely reverse your fortune, but they do a pretty good job at doing that. So
yeah. I would be concerned about playing Ice Rider Miraidon with this team, but because like so much of your Trick Room matchup does seem to rely on Brute Bonnet and Indeedee, and if they can just like change the terrain and make it electric terrain, you don't actually do very much if they
just
get
win the terrain war. And I remember somebody showing me a screenshot of the 3 last teams in Top Cut here, and it was like, I see a bit of a core here. Not to mention that's basically the core that won. And yeah, like definitely have your eyes on this one, because I actually don't think I think these 2 might have been, wait, no, were they not the same? Let me double check. Mystic Water, they didn't put them in the same order, so I can't click back and forth.
They're
one picked Heavy Slam,
different Calyrexes.
One picked Heavy Slam, one picked Behemoth Bash. Oh, okay, Life Orb versus Sash. Yeah, so they are different. And like they're the exact same 6, but they're playing it differently. Like that's what I'm saying. But they're both Mystic Water. There's still a lot of similarities. That's different team completely.
So Alex, do you think that this team is better than Big 6, or maybe just better than Rinja's son?
Right. It's stupid. I don't think that this archetype will see the success level of some of those strong ones that we saw, like Arbega and Rinya and Big 6 or whatever. But I think that's mostly because there are different ways that also work. We'll see if like it really comes down to it. Like there is a 6 that is like by far the strongest for Shadow Rider Zamazenta, But in my opinion, I feel like you want to keep the target moving, like basically, and like if one version of it is getting heavily targeted, there's a version that is a couple Pokemon different that will play drastically differently that you can shift to. Like just hop onto the Smeargle version now, or move on over to playing. I don't know. I'd have to double check to see if there's any other versions that are drastically different. But regardless, I feel like there are quite a few ways to do it.
Yeah, and I think that like in order for us to gauge how strong this is, we're just gonna need regionals, right? To see if
Yeah.
it will be the next, because like that's like kind of what happened with the other formats. Like, didn't Rinja Sun kind of come out of nowhere, and then it became the team that like defined. Obviously I didn't play 20, so correct me if I'm wrong, but he was like one of the few players running that team, and then it became like a team everywhere.
Oh, how did it
Or
start? Didn't
did
I
it
I?
think
initially start in a
that
global
format was weird
or online
because
tour?
it was so that format we had like 2 months of only online play before we had our first regional. Um,
Mm,
and so it was a little weird because I think that team did do very well in an online tournament. I remember
okay.
for the lead up to Salt Lake City Regionals, which was the first tournament of that format, Rinja-san was like on our checklist of teams to flowchart for, and also
Okay.
got 2 in top 4 or something like that. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
mm-hmm.
Okay. So
it's
yeah,
hard
because
to
I
say when it was all online.
because like Arubega, like obviously Rajan won with his team, and then like all like that team just got hyper optimized, and then that became like the team everywhere. So I feel like we'll know the team after Milwaukee is like kind of the thought of like that's gonna be the team that like everybody is gonna spam. But I think like right now, like know your lines into every single version of Kalizama, because that's gonna be the number one restricted duo easily.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think what's going to happen is NA players are going to be special snowflakes and not use it, because Victory Road does not like not enough NA players play in Victory Road tournaments normally.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
true.
so we're going to see a ton of like Ice Rider Maridon and all these other crazy like Lunala builds. And then EU is going to come around, and at Utrecht it's going to be like 7 of top 8 as Calric Shadow Zamba.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that checks out.
Let me see if I can
Uh,
find
so,
the other tournament as well. Are there any other teams here in
uh,
VR as well
yeah,
that I need to
I
put on?
have
Go ahead, Adi.
one more that I want to talk about. I was looking at the usage pairings, and uh Zamazenta Maridon had 6 people bring it to the tournament. 2 of them made day 2, which is a really good conversion rate. That's not a pairing that I had on my radar, and one of them got 9th place. They both were very different teams, so I thought that was a cool pairing that I wanted to look at, because I just again have not actually seen this pairing before at all.
Am I looking at the wrong thing here?
There's
Did you
2
say?
of them. One got 9th place, or am I looking at the?
You're looking at the one from last.
No,
I think you might be looking at the one from last week.
no. Maridon Zamba? No, it's VR2. Sorry,
Um,
15th place. Sorry, not 9th place. Whatever the first
okay,
place had a
yeah,
top cut. That's it.
that's fair.
Sorry.
That's fair.
That's what I
I
meant
think
to
this
say.
got like literally like 8th or 9th in the previous one.
Yeah.
But yes, this is Joe's team from Reg G with Azama instead of Ursh, I think.
Yeah.
Regardless, it's like a strong core. I think it's kind of fun to put up screens and then just have a third, like 3 restricteds with Ditto and screens to back it up. Like you just, I don't know. Does that sound fair? It kind of can be really annoying.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Ditto
Adi.
is an extra restricted. But yeah.
Yeah. No, I think like Grimmsnarl is another Pokemon that is seeing an uptick in play right now, and I can see Grimmsnarl Zama coming back for sure. Grimmsnarl Maridon, like you said. I think the rest of the core is kind of the same as Joe's team, but that's cool. And the other one that made it to top cut also had a Grimmsnarl, or not made it to day 2. Also had a Grimmsnarl Iron Hands, but had an Iron Treads Chi as the last 2 slots. So had a similar idea, I think, but with a different fire type and I guess different flex slot.
The one that was let me see here. I saw it earlier. Oh yes. The treads.
Yeah.
Wait. I'm sure that got fixed at some point.
Yeah.
That's likely treads.
It must be
But-
life, right? That's the only item that makes sense.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah, it's
seeing
the same.
this one.
It's the same as the Japanese Life Orb. Yeah. I would
No,
assume
this
it's
is
iron.
this is UV slow on the left here, but it is kind of funny to see double, like this was double finals in this tournament here. I can't remember exactly what the format was, if it was best of 3, best of 1, closed team shooter open, but UV
Mhm.
slow ended up reaching finals against YT here, and both using Ho-Oh, Ho-Oh with a bike, and I thought that that was pretty damn cool.
Wait, they both have iron treads too.
Yeah, they both have treads.
Yeah.
I forgot. That's the funnier. Like, you gotta be biking and you gotta bring your tire as well. You stupid tire guy. Also, I did find a better version. I'm looking at like in tub, and we did just link this already. This one has the 6 mons without open team sheet or anything like that. But the 1C did have Dusclops, which I do think is hilarious. Dusclops seems like it has like a lot of funny options for it this format. Like notably, it's immune to Terapagos' Terra Starstorm before it goes Terra, and if it hits it too many times, it's gonna run out of PP because of pressure. It also does get like haze and like the fattest pain split you could ever get. So I feel like Dusclops is a really funny counter to Terapagos in the right
Mhm.
situations.
Yeah, I think I think that the best Kali Ice versions, at least in my own testing, has been Hard Trick Room.
Right.
So can we actually see if that's Rapid Strikes or not? I know they have the pictures in the reply.
Looks like it's Dark
Single
Fu.
Strike. Yep. Okay. Yeah.
Unless yeah, that's Dark Fu.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Um yeah, any other teams here that I think are crazy? Oh, I mean that's a Bruxish. That is a
That's a
Bruxish.
Bruxish.
But
That's a
for the
Bruxish
6 that ended up
Sinistcha.
winning the tournament, it was Pagos, Shadow Rider, Incineroar, Amoonguss, Urshifu. Please hold your applause until the end of the show, of course.
Yeah,
Wait, but there's a CSR Clef team and they got second place. That's my combo.
And they
Those are
had
my guys.
Tinglu. It did just have like
They
a
had Tinglu.
Tinglu. Let me see here if there are any other teams. I don't know if they actually ever flash like the graphic on screen. Oh, this is a mirror in top 8. I forgot about this one. And then top 4 was like that core that you were talking about. So, this one baffles me because they have Grimmsnarl, Miraidon, Zam, but they also have Rillaboom. I do think that double terrain is probably a bit more allowed than it has been in previous formats.
Mhm.
Because you can just kind of like pivot your Miraidon in and out and then just get up terrain when you need to. Rafa, Tricycle Archetype is fire. That's pretty good. um, Hot dog, taco, hamburger. I did see that tweet, but I didn't get it. I didn't quite get it.
I'll
um,
show you after the stream.
no. I mean, I saw the tweet, but I just yours like the explanation. Sure, I get you.
Yeah.
Snow was using this. This was Kyogre Ice Rider. I thought that one was kind of cool. This is that exact 6 that we saw in a different tournament. Seeing Koraidon grayed out here, by the way, reminded me of something I was talking about over the weekend, but it is just so silly that we're here playing this double restricted format in the 3rd year of Scarlet and Violet, and we still don't have shiny bikes. Like, they really don't want us to play with the shiny bikes in this generation. Shiny Koraidon looks so cool. Shiny Miraidon, I could take it or leave it, but shiny Koraidon
Gotta
looks
pull it
dope.
up. I gotta see these.
Okay,
Gotta see
hold
the
on.
sprites.
Shiny Pokemon Miraidon. So yeah,
Oh.
they basically, like, you know how like a lot of the Iron Mons end up being like a silvery chrome. That's what the Miraidon's going for. Whereas like Koraidon, I don't know, he just looks sick as hell.
I like the Koraidon looks like an actual tire. That is pretty cool.
Right.
I don't really
Really
care
nice
for Miraidon. I agree.
Mhm.
Honestly, I think it's just a straight downgrade. If I'm being completely honest. Oh, that's just like a fan one.
Yeah.
Okay, but I needed to see the regular color to like confirm it. But yeah, I feel like the regular Miraidon, I like that like the chest is kind of like this like silvery contrast to the purple bike, and it just, I don't know. Koraidon just looks dope, dude. Koraidon, it just looks so cool. And then I can't believe we had the 4 global challenges and they didn't give us the 4 shiny ruins. That part is also absurd.
Mhm.
That part was just, like, it just makes sense. So like make it make sense.
Yeah.
there's that Valiant again. Valiant on BBSS, like we were talking about earlier. I skipped one here. Just a random Techmon Brute Bonnet. Yep, 100%. I get it. Like I don't got Sun, but you'll bring the Sun event. You'll bring the Sun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
part
mean,
of
you're allowed to
why. Like,
bring them on that just comes to one matchup
Yeah.
when that matchup is common enough, right?
Yep.
That's like Raging Bolt, right? Where it's like it's just getting benefit from like electric terrain, sun, and like if Koraidon's that popular, Bonnet's gonna just get so much use. And then if it's not, it's just gonna be like a Mungus Unga Bunga form.
Actually, you know what?
And
I'm
still have
speaking
Spore
to
Rage Powder.
chat right now. But
But yeah.
yeah, it's funny because somebody in the chat was talking about Amoongus earlier, and yeah, currently Brute Bonnet is seeing a lot more play than
Yeah.
Amoongus. It's well, I guess I
Yeah.
shouldn't say a lot more play, like in terms of like day one, they saw similar numbers of usage, but in day two, again, this is a very small sample size, 6 versus 2. That's so much more. It's literally triple the usage. Whoa! But like, genuinely though,
I mean, even
crazy.
extrapolating on that, there were 3 Brute Bonnet in top cut, and there were 0 Amoongus in top cut. So it's doing better like on every stage, on every level.
Got it. The deeper you go, the more we go backwards into the past, and the paradox guy's good. I don't really know how to make it work, but anyways, yeah.
Were there 2 or
that's
3?
cool.
Oh, there were 3. Yeah. Like it did really well this tournament. It definitely overachieved, and I do think that Koraidon Brute Bonnet Fluttermane is like one of the strongest 3-mod cores that you can put out. In fact, like I say, I've been testing Koraidon a little bit, and the biggest problem with Koraidon is actually like figuring out what non-restricted to put next to it, where you actually get to bring that non-restricted Pokemon, because you just want Koraidon and the Proto guys.
Wait, you mean restricted guy? Sorry, you said non-restricted.
Yeah. Which restricted Pokemon you want to bring?
Yes, I felt the same when I tested Koraidon Ice Rider. It was just like Ice Rider was just along for the ride. Like, I'm just gonna hang out here. You guys kill everything, and I'll come in at the end of the game. And if you need me to put Glacial Lance, maybe. But like the Sun guys, they just literally go beast. They're like nuts.
They just go beast.
I mean, it makes sense, like given that like the way that their designs and everything, they're literally like monsters, dude. They're insane. But yeah, I don't know if there's any other teams that we missed. Like this one, I did just kind of like question a lot of things. They had like Cress, Zacian, Terapagos with like the Calm Mind one. I saw a lot of people say that Zacian is the way to go for Specs Pagos, because Zacian forces a lot of Terras or baits out a lot of Terras. But this one is just like the most slow-paced team you could possibly see with double setup on your restricteds. Ally switch too. That's actually pretty funny. Yeah, this one's just goofy. That's all I can really say about this one. Surprised it's not Goggles on the crest. I feel like they have Taunt on the Grim. Taunt on the Grim. My bad. Fair enough. Yeah, this one's a little weird. Regardless, though, yeah, I think that there's probably not too many more teams. And yeah, next week, there's not going to be a ton of Reg I tournaments to talk about, I think, besides like smaller grassroots and stuff like that. So maybe we'll do a bit more of like a meta breakdown or something like that, just talking about like what to be ready for the first major, because yeah, people got to get ready for Milwaukee. It's coming up fast. There's so many ways to go. It's tough to figure out, what's the best one for you, and also what do you have to beat. With that, do you guys have though any fun calcs in mind, Reg I calcs that maybe we could look at for Calc is right here? To walk people through the game real quick, we present a damage calc situation, and everybody else in the call has to guess what the like within the percentage range. So if you're doing the Savannah Snow Blizzard calc and you say 40, you get the point right. It's just for fun. But yeah, do you guys have any calcs to start with? Otherwise, I'm gonna start brainstorming one that's like Reg I relevant.
Yeah, I'm also.
Let's think a little bit here. Like, Ho-Oh was topical, but I'm trying to think of like a cool Ho-Oh calc.
Yeah.
What do I say for Ho-Oh? Yeah,
All
I
right,
don't know
I have
about
a
that.
calc. I have a calc in mind.
Start us
Okay.
off.
We saw a few iron treads today, right?
Yeah.
So we got to do an iron treads calc. This iron treads is it's going to be. I don't know. I actually got to look up what this thing is to get the speed booster, but it's going to be choice band and whatever the maximum attack you can have with speed booster
I
is.
think it can just be full attack. It can be full attack.
Can you? Okay, whatever the
Yeah,
max
yeah.
attack for speed booster is, you're gonna do that, and you're gonna be clicking steel roller, because you had electric terrain up, and that steel roller is going into the max HP, max defense, photosynthesis defense boosted brute bonnet. How much are we doing?
Okay, so CV Steel Roller Jolly with into max HP, max defense bonnet. Jeez, when the
That's
bonnet
defense
has
boosted,
proto,
and
right?
yeah.
The bonnet has proto, yes.
Okay. I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, Jeudy, what you got?
I'm gonna say it's not tarot, right? So it's just hitting. I'm gonna say
Not
55.
Tarot.
No way you
55.
said 55. It's not the same number as mine, so I'm just gonna stick with it. I had 54. We better
54,
be
all right.
right. I hope we know our stuff. Okay,
Mm.
Iron Treads. Standard is Life Orb. Let's go ahead and up
I just love
that.
it.
Choice Band. Steel Roller is one of the buttons. Good, good, good. Brute Bonnet. I want... none of these are going to be quite the set that we're looking for. Oh, this is close, actually. You said max
That's
HP,
pretty
though.
much
We
it,
can
yeah.
go ahead. And
I don't. Okay.
yeah,
I will
it's
say
not...
you cannot
Oh,
be
no.
you cannot be 244 HP because then you die to an annihilate final gambit. You got to be max HP on Brute Bonnet.
That's funny. That's funny. That's actually so relevant. All right, yeah, we're in there right now, Jeudy. Except I think
Ooh.
Sun is not up. So
Yeah.
I don't think I don't need to put electric terrain. It seems like it's running the calc just fine. That's not going to change things. So yeah, choice band steel roller versus this thing. It's capping out at 45. No. Oh my god.
It tanks it, man. This Brute Bonnet goes crazy, and Iron Treads kind of sucks. Not doing enough. I think that's his strongest move. It's just not doing enough.
Goddamn.
All right, I think I got one.
Okay, go ahead.
So Sun is pretty topical. We're seeing a lot of Scarf Chiyus everywhere. I've even seen some that were Terrafire. So what are we doing with a Scarf Terrafire in the Sun overheat going into a Lunala? Just a max HP Lunala.
Max HP Lunala, and the shield is up 0% because it missed. Of course. All right. Terrafire overheat.
Yeah, just Terrafire overheat.
Single target
in
or
the
spread?
Sun. Imagine if overheat can spread.
Okay.
Wait, are we in the Sun?
Yes, we are in the Sun. Koraidon is
Sun?
here.
Okay, I got a number.
I'm ready as well.
All right. Let me what do you? Let's start with Adi since you're new here.
I'm stealing your answer from last time and saying 55.
All right. I'm a little higher this time. I had 60. I had 60, but I'm like kind of nervous because I'm thinking about let's say we didn't have the Shadow Shield. We're all agreeing that we're dead as hell. Right.
Yeah.
But I feel like we might be far more dead than we're realizing. I'm just but it sounds stupid to say that I'm taking 70% through Shadow Shield, but I feel like
Terrafire in the Sun.
Okay.
Sun
is up. Terra.
Yep.
Ooh, yeah.
Ah!
Okay. You're dead as hell.
I should have said 70. No way, dude. Ow. Holy shit.
In fact, if I didn't do specs on purpose because I know that specs would KO it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Koraidon learns Helping Hand, so this is technically a calc you could get turn 1. Just Helping Hand, Terrafire, overheat, kill you through your Shadow Shield. I don't care. Oh my god.
Uh,
Oh my god. All right. Well, I said I was gonna do a Ho-Oh calc, so we'll stick with it. Um, and I think I know which one I want to look at, but I feel like, okay, yeah, let's do something kind of in a similar vein because Ho-Oh, I said it was the sun counter, right? So
Yeah.
I'm just kind of curious, how badly does a Jolly Life Orb Terrifier Flare Blitz from Koraidon due to Cal default? I think is just going to be max HP. Oh, I'm not gonna pull it up because I don't want to show you guys its stats just in case. But yeah, let's just say max HP, 0 defense Ho-Oh. How much is taken from Terrifier Life Orb Flare Blitz from Koraidon and Sun, of course.
That's a good point.
Wait,
I
wait.
don't remember if Ho-Oh was the high speed def one or the high defense one.
Oh,
thought it was high
well,
defense.
I have one, but I'm gonna let you go first then, if that's the.
I really should pick Adi
Light-
first.
Life Orb Terrifier Jolly Koraidon. That thing still hits hard. All right, I got a number.
Okay.
Jody,
Same,
are
I
you
have a
ready to
number
go
as well.
too? Okay.
Yeah, I'm a say like.
Well, no, hold on. I'm gonna pick Adi first because he seemed less
Okay,
sure.
okay.
So Adi, go ahead.
I'm definitely less sure, but I've clicked. I feel like Life Orb Koraidon. That thing hits so hard. I also think it's gonna two shot just barely. I'm gonna say 53 this time.
Okay.
Oh, I was so much higher. And now it's making me question it. I would say like 70.
All right. All right.
My original number was 85. I think that thing is so strong.
85.
I think that thing is so strong.
But
It
Ho-Oh
is
has
just
a massive defense stat, right?
No, it's the
I
Spadef
get it
set.
wrong. No, it's a spit down.
It's got a 90. It's got a 90 defense set.
Oh
Adi,
god,
come
I'm gonna be
on.
so wrong.
Yeah.
What's funny is
look at
both
it's
of
already...
the birds, Adi, have the same like bulk stats, I believe. I think they're both Spadef heavy.
Okay,
both of the Gen 2 birds.
I was like, I know Lugia has a high speed def. I thought that meant Ho-Oh had a high defense. Nope. Wait, Lugia has crazy bulk. It has both bulk. Okay.
Jody, what did you drop? 70?
Yeah.
Okay, you're chilling. It's 69.4.
Oof.
Adi, it might be a little bit higher than what you said.
Well, what if Ho-Oh had a base 154 defense? Then how much would it get?
Let's go ahead. Just for science here. If it had a bit, you were still wrong.
I'd still be wrong. I said 53.
That's funny. That's funny. All right. Well, that was pretty funny. That's gonna be it for this one then. We'll be back next week to talk about Sevilla, of course. More Reg G. Everyone wants to know about what's going on in Reg G as we finish it up, and because we're gonna come back to it a third time sometime in the future, and that's when the meta's really gonna develop. We got to be ready for that one. Yeah, otherwise, if you're here now but you didn't catch the beginning, or you just aren't aware, this is on YouTube as well, if that's your preferred medium. So !YT in the chat. And otherwise, yeah, thanks Jody for being on here with us. I know that you were streaming earlier today, so thank you for giving us more of your time.
Yes, thank you for having me.
And yeah, otherwise, we'll be back next time, and you guys have a good night. Peace out, peeps. Later.